It was 7 years ago Amelie Mauresmo came within one win of this title, and that, so far, her only Grand Slam final appearance. She's in the semifinals today against Kim Clijsters. This is the round that has often been troublesome for this talented shot maker from France. Can she conquer her nerves and seize the moment against Clijsters for a shot against Anna Ardern in the final here on Saturday? Well, Mauresmo was on court yesterday in the heat, but pretty briefly. She destroyed Patty Schnyder. 50 more minutes of match time it took Kim Clijsters to knock out Martina Hingis. They find themselves right back on court today. For Hingis, though, reaching the quarterfinals, pushing the number 2 seed to 3 sets, she considers this Australian Open, her comeback Grand Slam, a resounding success.
Although losing against Kim today, it's just still gives me so much to look forward to, because it was a tight match at the end after all. I mean, 3 years passed by. You can't just think that you're going to step out there and win everything. But considering I only wanted to play doubles at all these events, it didn't turn out that badly. I don't have to prove anything anymore. Yeah, just to myself, and there were expectations, but I mean, I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it for anything else, just because I love the game and no one's pushing me. It's just like, it's me who wants it and no one else, you know. Before, you could always say, well, your mom and this and that, but now it's me who's in charge.
And Hingis still alive in the mixed doubles. Mahesh Bhupathi, a very good partner for her. They might be considered favorites to win the title. But in singles, what do you expect her ranking to be if she plays an entire year?
I'd be shocked if she's not in the top 15. You know, she's going to get better as she plays more matches. When she gets in that situation, she's going to start winning a lot of matches. You know what? Top 10.
Top 10 by the end of the year.
Top 10, Marty Hingis.
Well, she wasn't able to solve Kim Clijsters yesterday, although Clijsters a little shaky on the backhand in that match, and again has to be right back on court today for the semifinal against Amelie Mauresmo. No questions about her fitness, and she is the much fresher player. We talked about a quicker match yesterday. The question, of obviously, for Mauresmo is between the ears in these big occasions, but you have liked her chances since the beginning of this tournament.
I hope she checked her ears, because I've had her from the get-go. I like the way she's playing. She's playing with confidence, and she snapped a 7-match losing streak to Clijsters at the championships in LA, and a bunch of those were one-sided. If she's ever going to get her in a big match, it's today. She's fit. You know, I wish the roof was open for her, but I'm still picking Mauresmo.
She dropped the very first set of this tournament to Tian Sun of China. Hasn't dropped a set since. What about Clijsters? Let's break down the tail of the tape here, Brad.
The tail of the tape. Let's go to it.
You've got
the forehand. I'm giving it big time to Clijsters. That's the big edge in the match. The backhand I'm giving to Mauresmo. That's the weaker side for Clijsters. The serve I'm also giving it to Clijsters. Much more solid. The volleys, Mauresmo gets the net more, so I give it to Mauresmo. The return, I'll give it to Clijsters. She's a little more aggressive. Now, the foot speed, this is tight. These are maybe the 2 fastest girls on the tour. I'm giving it even. And intangibles, normally I'm giving this to Clijsters, but today I'm giving it to Mauresmo because I'm not sure how Clijsters is going to respond to playing back-to-back days, and she was out on the court a long time. We'll find out about this injury.
Now, she's had the hip problem, the back problem. Her thigh was wrapped for that match yesterday against Davenport, and it's wrapped again. So maybe physical issues for Clijsters, the mental issues for Mauresmo to conquer. Shapes up as a pretty compelling semifinal. Let's go to Cliff Drysdale and Mary Carrillo.
Many thanks to you guys, and a nice setup for this match. Let's first of all just look back at what we've seen here earlier, Mary, because it was, I mean, from where I sit anyway, Justine Anna Ardern has figured out how to beat the big babe tennis girls. I mean, you can hit as hard as you like to her. She figures that she can run anything down, play defense, and she can hit the ball pretty hard herself. She's on the roll.
Which begs the question, can Martina Hingis in her comeback efforts, can she get as fit and as fast to play like Anna and come all the way through?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Mary, because I just don't think she has enough juice. You see, this is the thing. This is the added element that Anna has.
That's exactly right. Well, what about Amelie Mauresmo? You've been liking her too.
Well, I like her chances a lot. I kind of agree with Brad in a way. Look, it's going to be a very close one, this obviously. In fact, that's what's been so sweet about this last 4 of the women's. In fact, going into the whole thing, just about anybody could win it, and we're down to 4, all of whom really had a good shot at it. Now, we've got one finalist. The question is who's going to be there alongside her. Look, Mauresmo does not have a good record record against Kim Clijsters, but I watched her beat her in Los Angeles. Clijsters was not at her best, clearly. But I think that Amelie Mauresmo now has won a big one in her mind, and that was the year-ending championship, Mary. I think that makes a big difference.
And the last couple of rounds, Amelie Mauresmo has really played better than Kim Clijsters. And she's had some pretty tough opponents as well. She played a tough young Czech, Nicole Vidasova, 2 rounds ago. And again, Vidasova was overwhelmed by the occasion, it seemed. But Amelie Mauresmo played through this entire match with great control, great feel, and committing only 2 unforced errors. 2 unforced errors in 2 sets by any measure against any opponent. That's very clean ball striking. And then, of course, yesterday she went up against Patty Schneider, a tricky player from Switzerland. You've got to be on your toes to play against that. And once again, she played thoughtful tennis. She was in almost... She was in charge of almost every point these two played and dropped only 3 games. Again, very, very clean, tight tennis from Mauresmo. So you look at what she's done the last couple of rounds, you've got to like what you've seen. She's been... Now, of course, nobody has been able to pressure her the way that her opponent Kim Clijsters will be able to. Kim Clijsters is one of the great defensive players in women's tennis. I'd put her up there, well, maybe not as high as Josine Ardern, but she gets back so many balls that Amelie Mauresmo will have to obviously feel more pressure to make better shots. So she probably will commit a lot more errors today. But, you know, Clijsters didn't look that good against Hingis, did she? She had over 30 backhand errors alone.
And the other issue with Kim Clijsters is her, her injuries, her health. She sort of worked her way slowly into this tournament, warms up for one match and says, I'm going to see how I feel, whether I'm even going to play. But against Hingis, she had some serious mentality to deal with, and she did.
Yeah, well, that's true enough. I mean, in the first set, it was almost all about Kim Clijsters. She started off beautifully. Again, there's that defense turning into offense. A blind winner there from on the run defensively. And then, Hingis dug in quite a bit. In that second set, she won 6 straight games and, made Clijsters think out there. Made Clijsters sometimes look kind of slow to me. But in the third set, Clijsters, she got that early break, and that's pretty much, to my mind, that's exactly what she needed. Her forehand worked beautifully, though her backhand betrayed her. And, now she goes into playing, a player like Amelie Mauresmo, who hits the ball so many different ways. We've been talking about how beautifully Amelie Mauresmo speaks English. Well, she's also got a huge tennis vocabulary. But what we've always seen from Mauresmo that it's damned her in the past is she's got this huge vocabulary. She doesn't always speak up. She doesn't always, go for it. She's not always aggressive enough. She doesn't always know what to do with all the options she's got. But if she can really speak out there today, it'll be fun to watch.
Well said, Mary. And the dynamic here is sort of interesting as well, because we've got one player who, yes, she won the year-ending championship. She's never won a slam, though, and this is something that obviously she really wants. And then you've got somebody who comes off winning the last slam, Kim Clijsters, who turned her year around. So maybe it is the time for the French women. We'll see. They're on court now. They are in the final stages of their warm-up. They're just about to start this match. It's Kim Clijsters taking on Amelie Mauresmo to see who plays the championship match from Rod Laver Arena on Sunday. First point to Clijsters.
15. Sure.